There is a genius in the room. And now look at the screen and tell me which one it is.
See, that's how good I am. That's how good I am.
Amazing. Absolutely. Well, hey, Brian, it's lovely to have you drop by again.
Yes. Thank you.
We'll try to turn off the production at the end before, when we're done, rather than continue on like we did last time. And it was funny, though. I thought it was fun that we, continued our conversation as if we and broadcast to the world. Aren't you glad you didn't say anything nasty about any of the folks in my audience?
I don't know which ones I would say nasty things about, but leave a comment below and we'll find out.
So there has been a lot of stuff going on, just a huge number of, just so much stuff going on. I know today you ran a video earlier today. You were talking about Daniel O'Dowd. I don't know if it's Daniel or Danny. Anyway, Dan O'Dowd. He apparently ran some commercials over the weekend during the Super Bowl. He spent millions of his own money. Did you find his commercials useful, or did they say anything beneficial to the world?
So first of all, he did not spend millions. He did not take out what you and I would call a Super Bowl ad. He took out local commercials from local affiliates in 3-4 little markets just so that he could say he had a Super Bowl ad. I would point out that Bob's Sporting Goods in my tiny little town also had a Super Bowl ad. It ran in my town and nowhere else. But hey, it counts. We got a Super Bowl ad. And Bob's production values were not much worse than Dan's. Dan's commercials missed all of the things that you want to hit on. There's no appeal. They're just boring. They feel like corporate training videos. They're bad. So were they helpful? Wouldn't know, didn't watch them. He only plays the greatest hits. I read an article about it, and that's quite enough. I'm not going to give him any traction. What we do know is, in terms of effectiveness of a Super Bowl ad, his channel, how many subscribers do you think he has? Since last year he ran a Super Bowl ad too. Right. How many subscribers does he have?
Oh, I don't know. How many?
As of yesterday, 747.
747. That is a ton less than you were.
That is a waste of money. I don't care how cheap those ads were. That was a waste of money. He is a cynical, dishonest person. There are other. Well, he works for a client of his is Mobileye. Yeah. Mobileye is on a lot of cars, like Nissan ProPilot, which has one of the most dangerous systems for engagement. First, you've got to reach down under the dash in a spot you can't see because it's occluded by the wheel. You can't see where the button is. Press that button. Then you look down, figure out, oh, here's cruise control, turn it on. And then you hit a third button, and now you're in ProPilot.
Wow.
That, and there's no eyeball monitoring. There's no driver attentiveness tracking, so to speak, apart from please touch the wheel, which is very easy to circumvent. Where's the outrage, Dan?
Yeah.
Where's the outrage?
Right.
Absent, wholly absent, because, and I covered a lot of these little points in my video, but, you don't want to bite the hand that feeds you. And Tesla is the only hand unwilling to feed Dan for his janky botchware.
So speaking of unwilling to feed, I understand Tesla didn't run any Super Bowl commercials of their own yesterday. And they showed all kinds of celebrities in the stands, but they never said, hey, there's Elon Musk over there with his son X. And Elon Musk is probably well known as 50% of the people that they actually scanned over and looked at. And he was in the front row, easy to see.
Well, which front row? It looked more like a box seat, which would be up in the middle, kind of. So the problem with showing celebrities at an event as big as the Super Bowl is there are almost nothing but celebrities. The number of people, of everyday Joes who can afford to go to a game like that is very, very low. So even if you and I don't recognize the people there, you could scan the crowd slowly and somebody would recognize just about everybody. That's the CEO from wherever, or that's that real estate developer.
Yeah, but we're not talking about those guys. We're talking about the number one entrepreneur in the century.
But looking for celebrities at the Super Bowl
Yeah,
is, as Anthony Jeselnik would say, like looking for a needle in a needle store on Customer Appreciation Day.
there you
They're
go.
everywhere. There's no shortage of people to put on camera. And I really did not see that many celebrity cams, apart from Taylor Swift, who I saw at least twice, because she was bigger news than the Super Bowl about the Super Bowl. So
Yeah,
that makes sense.
yes.
And I don't see it as a slight. I don't know what CBS would have against Elon Musk. They've never seemed to take a side at all in it. So I don't know what their concern. I don't see a concern. I think it's just an oversight. And maybe they just didn't want to put anyone up who was too divisive, although Taylor Swift is pretty divisive to some people, I guess.
So then another piece of controversy going around over the last few days has been the huge price cut on Model Y. They've dropped it $1,000 for 2.5 weeks.
So if you look at sales charts, you'll see that Q1 is historically the weakest, and specifically February is the weakest. February is the weakest month, and that's not just in the US. There's a chart I saw from China that shows February is the weakest month. We have 2 weeks left in February. Let's juice those numbers. Let's get some units out the door at a time when otherwise people might be waiting until spring. Just makes sense to me. And if you want to get 90 days of free FSD, you can use Randy's referral code, which is probably in the link below.
It isn't actually. So go ahead and use Brian because I know his is definitely in his link below. So what is a link below anyway?
Oh, just in the description, I mean,
Oh,
in the linked in the description.
I thought it was
Oh,
kind of,
you
I thought
need
it
to
was
put
an
that in
animal.
your description. Oh, in the links, in the
A links
check it
below.
out in the wild rabid links below, of course, is how it works.
And then speaking of Model Y, according to Troy, now we don't know if Troy's right or not, but he's seems to get some information like you. He digs around and has some contact. Apparently, he's saying that the Model Y refresh will come in Shanghai in July and come to Berlin and the United States next January. Do you have anything on that that would call him right, wrong, or indifferent?
I haven't seen anything, but if that's true, I wouldn't have seen anything because the parts would just be just now going out for final production engineering. And I wouldn't have seen them. There are so many parts in common that it's entirely possible that my sources wouldn't see the parts because they would just be Model 3 parts. We know that in China, they already updated. They did a light refresh with just a few interior components on the Y, just so that there would be parts commonality with the 3 and they wouldn't need to have as much inventory laying around. But what they've got is an opportunity to streamline it even more. What we will look for is first road testing, and then second, all the leaks. So road testing is something you can't hide. With the Model 3 refresh, we saw the road testing in the US first. If we don't see road testing by March, April, then there is no refresh coming this year. I don't know. I would say they don't need to refresh it. It's doing so great. But I think if they can do it without a outsized investment of headspace, they should do it because as high as the sales are, they could be higher. They could always be higher. And that the features that you got with the refresh Model 3, the infotainment, the additional cabin noise reduction, the softer ride, these are all things that people really want. And especially if you can get it for the same price, why wouldn't you do it? The exterior styling is a matter of taste. I don't know if the styling refresh would scale up into a Model Y the way it did with the original Model Y. There were some styling obstacles to overcome, one of which involved just putting bigger wheels on the Y than the 3 so that it didn't look cartoonishly weird. And then the second piece to make the wheels look even a little nicer was they put the black trim around the wheel well, the wheel arches, so that it created a better illusion of correct scale. So is the Model Y refresh coming in July? Unknown. I don't know what his sources are, but I know I am very diligent with my sources in ways that others typically are not. I will never report a single source rumor unless I've got something physical in my hands from someone whom I know. But we don't know what Troy's sources are. He wisely has not disclosed them, nor should he. But we do know that there have been a lot of rumors in the past that proved completely off base. And I have no way of knowing if this is one of them.
Got you. And then speaking of, well, this is something that's a little better than a rumor. What are you seeing with regard to the Cybertruck shipments? In other words, units coming out of the building and getting onto trucks and going out the door.
So we're still looking. I mean, it's improving. We were seeing about 25 a day. Now it's looking more like 40 to 50 a day. And there are still 2 drone pilots who are out there between the 2 of them almost every day of the week. And you'll notice that the Cybertrucks are all in a different place every day. They're in the outbound lot and then they're gone. They're over by the main entrance and then they're moved or juggled. So I don't believe they're just moving them around like a shell game to make it look busy. I believe they're genuinely going out. And we know that because customer deliveries are starting to happen. New states for delivery are starting to happen. To me, the bottleneck is going to be, is it the 4680? Are they going to be able to ramp it adequately to match the increase in production of the actual vehicle that it goes into? Or are they going to have to make a structural 2170? Unlike with the Model Y, when they were making the 2170 and 4680 versions of the Model Y in Texas side by side, they were different. The Model Y with the 4680 pack did not have a floor pan, where the 2170 version did. So from the air, if you saw 2 scrap bodies, you could tell which was which because one just didn't have a floor. I don't believe they have engineered around a solution for that in the Cybertruck, which means they would need instead to make a structural 2170 pack. And I don't know if they've done that or if that's something they're looking to do, but that would open up the opportunity for increased production, even if 4680's ramp is slower than expected.
So Warren Redlick said this morning that they've opened the order form on the website for Japan for the Cybertruck with a 2 million backlog. I was a little shocked to see that they were going to be offering folks to put their reservations down in Japan. Do you think that heard anything other than Warren's note on that?
I have not seen any confirmation on that. This is the first I'm hearing about that. I'm surprised that I didn't see it all over X, but that seems like an unusual market for the second market. And like you said, especially when the sales in the US are so insatiable, I don't know why they would do that, but it's also possible that the announcement, what I would expect is an announcement that they're going to display it in Japan, not sell it in Japan, because we know they displayed it in China. We know they're going to be displaying it in Germany soon, with no immediate intention to actually ship it to those countries.
Right.
So I'm not sure. I can't speak to that rumor. I haven't seen anything that would give me any information either way.
Gotcha. And then, you mentioned about the 4680s. Have you heard anything at all, one way or the other, in terms of whether we're moving the numbers up at all? I mean, I know it's harder because it's all inside the building, but.
We have not seen any new information this week that would indicate how the 4680 ramp is going.
All right, so we're still in the dark on that one. Sure. Oh, speaking of in the dark, I thought we're supposed to have a meeting last week with the all hands over at Tesla, where Elon was going to talk to all hands, and we were going to be part of the story.
He also was supposed to have the same kind of meeting for X and for SpaceX, and I think really for all of his companies. I think he said in December he was saying that, yeah, as soon as the quarterlies are done and the 10K is out, I'll be able to do it, hopefully a couple weeks after. And we just haven't heard. He's a very busy man.
He is.
That Super Bowl game was not going to watch itself, Randy.
It needed to have people in the seats.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, yes, definitely, definitely for sure. Well, Brian, anything else out there that's like really intriguing you right now? And I know one of the other things I've been wondering is how Model 3 sales are going. People have said maybe the numbers are going out. What do you call it? The shipping time has been extending on the Model 3 all-wheel drive, maybe because of shortages of units as opposed to lots of sales. But I keep waiting I keep thinking that's going to be a great seller, but I got nothing that so far that's going like, oh yeah, it's doing great.
Well, what we do know is we haven't seen many of them on the road. We have seen a lot of them going out to showrooms. You can probably find in your state, depending on the state, one where you can go and take a test drive. On the 18th, I'm going out to a members only event for the Tesla Owners Club of Oregon. I am a member of several different state Tesla owners clubs because there's no rule against it. And why not support the people who support me? So I'm going out for that. There are test drives available. I've already done a test drive with my membership event at the Washington Owners Club. But at this one on the 18th, I will also be able to, and this is big news, Randy, get inside a Cybertruck.
All right. Yay.
Very excited for that.
I know they've been mentioning that some of the showrooms are now allowing people to actually enter and sit on the precious seats.
Yeah, yeah. I'm looking forward to that. I have a number of unanswered questions, which I will be answering. And I may just do it live. I may live stream it early in the morning on Sunday, the 18th, before the Tesla showroom opens to the public.
There you go. Who is the public? What do you mean by
the general public. It's one of those words you only read, you never hear out loud. I don't know how it's pronounced. It's like Chicago, the windy city.
Windy city.
Yeah, I don't know why they call it.
All right. Okay. Listen, I'm going to tell you that the show is over. And now let's talk about our wives or something.
I got some stories about exes I could share.
Could you then?
Oh my gosh.
X's, you mean the Model X's or?
Here, let me grab all of my drug paraphernalia, for we are no longer on camera. I'm not exciting.
Oh,
not like that. Not like that anyway.
You're boring in a certain way.
Yeah, Randy, I know what you're doing this 4th of July is you're coming up to Washington. I'm having my 50th birthday party on July 3rd, and I'm inviting everyone, including my family. And the difference is my family's not coming, but maybe you guys will. So I look forward to seeing you then.
Now, if you had exclusively said, Randy, you are the one I'm inviting up to, but you said you're inviting everybody. I mean,
it means you'll have fans there, Randy. If it's just me, you will have no fans.
Wait a minute, my mom's coming.
Mom. That's fun. That's fun. No, the joke I was making is that I'm not a fan.
Oh, oh, I get it. Okay.
I'm so glad this part's not recorded.
Well, just in case it is, there was a great video. I did an amazing video yesterday with CERN Basher. I don't know if you've had CERN on your channel yet.
I have not.
He's got charts, graphs. He goes deep. He thinks a lot. And then he puts it all together in a way that is extremely fun and entertaining to watch. So I will put a card right there in case we did leave the video running through all of that nonsense.
Yeah. And I just wanted to say it's been great talking to you.
You didn't want to say that, huh? And follow him on FutureAza.
FutureAza.
FutureAza. Why wasn't it an X instead of a Z? I don't get it.
Because even that would be too much brand tie-in, I think.
I see. That's right.
It would make it harder to say phonetically. You gotta.
Yeah.
A lot of people were saying, well, why not just make it this word that already exists? And I said, because that word already exists, and I have to do something. After 30 years of internet, I have to find a name that's never been used before. The choices are a bit lean.
Well, having said all of that, follow him over there. And then, of course, it's been great talking to you, Brian. Oh, and to all of you as well.